everybody, Susie Reno here with video number 4, FlossTube number 4. Here we are. I have had a great month. I've been busy. I had to work a whole lot. I don't think I mentioned it in any of my other videos, but we had, I work in a department of 10, and 2 of the 10 people in my department broke either a leg or a foot this spring, like within like a day of one another. One broke theirs on a Wednesday and the other on a Thursday. So we've had all these open hours. I mean, obviously you can't work with, you know, you're on your feet all day. You can't work with a broken foot in healthcare, or at least in our department you can't. And so I was helping to cover a lot of hours. So the first 2 weeks of May for me were absolutely crazy, and as a result I apologize because a lot of you left very nice comments on my last video, video number 3, and I did not get a chance to moderate comments, or if I did, it was very little. So I apologize. I try very, very hard to, and I will eventually catch up. I know I will. But I feel really bad that I don't want you to think that I just blew everybody off with the comments. But anyway, so I have been getting some stuff done. Like I said, the first 2 weeks of May, I think I worked like 90 some hours those first 2 weeks of May, and went on a quilting retreat, a 3-day quilting retreat in between those 2 crazy weeks of work. So, I mean, it wasn't all work, it was some play too. So at my retreat I did finish a small baby quilt for my future niece or nephew that we are expecting in August, which I'm very excited about. I will insert a picture of the quilt that I put together at the retreat right here. Isn't that cute? I love it. That pattern is a freebie pattern. It is called Mini Story Stars by Carried Away Quilting. And that's a freebie pattern. It's a great pattern if you have focal prints, or if you want to like fussy cut little images that are on your fabric. That's a great pattern. And I modified it. I think originally it's, is it nine little windmills, and I don't know, I did like, I made it bigger because I wanted it to be larger. It's just more of like a wall hanging on her freebie, but you can make it bigger, just make more squares. So yeah, so that's what I have been busy with. So getting on to what has been going on with me, also, I won a giveaway on Instagram, which I was absolutely tickled pink about. People really do win those. Did you know that? I had no idea. So the giveaway that I won was sponsored by StitchinEweBags. So she is an Etsy seller, and this is her card. Her name is Ryan, and she has an Etsy shop. And her bags are fantastic. This is how you spell her name. I asked her, it's pronounced Ryan. If I can get it in the camera there. There we go. It's pronounced Ryan. She is delightful. She posted this, and guess what? I won. It's awesome. Look at this cute little stitched bee. Isn't that adorable? It's so cute. And the fabric itself, it's kind of like botanical. It's sort of like something out of a textbook even. You know, there's like all these illustrations, and oh, it's just so cool. It's right up my alley. And it even came with this little sachet. It smells like lavender. So the whole bag smells like lavender. It's beautifully lined. She does just a great job. And this down here is like a faux leather. Really cool. It's like hands down the nicest stitching bag I own. So Ryan, thank you so much. And another weird caveat to the story, Ryan just moved to Minnesota from Kansas City, and I was blown away when it came in the mail and it had a Minnesota postmark. I was like, that's weird, and I contacted her. I'm like, do you live in Minnesota? And she's like, we just moved here like a month ago. So yeah, I love it. It's absolutely fabulous. So thank you, Ryan. I'm thrilled. So that was my exciting win. Next up, I have to address something. So I was watching Priscilla and Chelsea this week, and I was watching Chelsea separate her floss. And she does this thing where she like somehow shoves it in her armpit and like peels it apart. And it occurred to me that maybe not everybody knows the shortcut to separating floss. Certainly Chelsea doesn't, because she's using like secret deodorant as her thread heaven, apparently. I don't know. Anyway, maybe that makes it more color fast. I don't know. So I just wanted to, this is for you, Chelsea. So I've just got a strand of floss here. I picked a nice white that would show up nice. So, and this is a long one too. Okay, so it's really long. So what you do is you kind of just tap the top till they sort of separate like that, right? Then you just grab one of those and you loosely, right here, you just loosely hold it and you just pull it straight out and it'll just bunch up right underneath. Just like that. And then it just falls right back to where it should be. If you need two strands, if you need another strand, you do the very same thing. And you should pull them out one at a time. Because then when you put them back together, they will lay much nicer, they won't tangle, they won't knot as easily. So that's my tip for you, Miss Chelsea. You're always showing us little cheater things for shortcuts for framing and finishing, so I hope that that tip helps you with your stitching. So, okay. So that's that, my little tip for Chelsea. Next up, I want to show my whips, which, I mean, I got some progress done. I have a finish, first of all. Maybe I'll show that first. So this is the one I finished for my mom. Home is where your mom is. This is my own design. I designed it a long time ago. I had it like halfway done. I don't know why I never finished it, but I decided now is the time. I have a frame ordered, so I will FFO it as soon as the frame comes. But yeah, I've always loved that saying. So I finished it. So I'm happy to have that done. I told my mom she couldn't watch my floss tubes until I gifted her that. So I did miss Mother's Day, unfortunately, but she knows that I was working on something. She knows how busy I was during that period of time. So anyway, the next one that I have to share is my Sally Spencer, which I just love this sampler. I didn't make a ton of progress on it. This is all that I've got done. I'm doing eyelet stitches for the big letters, and there's a little modification that's required. Sometimes they're not. Most of them are groups of 4 stitches together, but not all of them are. If you don't know what Sally Spencer looks like, there you go. I really like it. Someone else said they had sent me a comment and said that they like to mark on the because this is, you can use dry erase markers on this, and you can mark where you left off on your chart. So this one's not very big. It's pretty easy to tell where I left off. I don't usually do that, but someone else thought it was really nice. But these are sleeves that are actually made for dry erase marking. So and yeah, there's like a little eyelet up in the corner, so I just clip my threads to it, and it just kind of keeps it all together when I have to tuck it in the bag. I just sort of put it all together and slide it all in. So that's where I am. I'm hoping it's really a fun one to work on. I can't wait to get to some of the border. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait to do that like red vine that goes around the outside and some of the flowers, but my goal is to do like a line of letters and then reward myself with a little bit of the vine around the edge. So, okay, so that's Sally. The other one that I've been working on is a modified version of this American flag quilt sampler that I'm doing with Misty Purcell. There's a few others that are doing it as well, but I'm doing a modified version. My favorite thing about this was all of those quilt squares. The fact that there's a quilt square for every state, I thought that was really, really neat. So instead of doing the whole flag, I'm just doing a state at a time, and then the year that they entered the Union. So here's my Delaware square. There's Delaware, and I'm actually a couple weeks behind, but my goal was to do one a week. I'm hoping to get one more done this week and then do 2 next week, and then I'll be all caught up. So, but yeah, there's my Delaware, and I'm just going to do them in the order that they entered the Union. So you can see I made a little schematic there. So I just did 5 rows of 10 each. And then I put what state and what year they entered the Union. I didn't get into the specific date, even though I had room. I just was like, I'm just going to do the year. That's good enough. So that's where I am on that one. What else? Oh, the other thing that I was working on is my quilt. My quilt, English paper piecing quilt, my Tula pink one. So I was able to stick with my quota on this one, and as you can see, I have another whole row done. So I joined all of those sections, and I have this entire row done. I'll lean back here. Still can't get it all on here. And so this will join up with, I can get it here, the rest of the quilt. So this is what I have done. And so this week, my goal will be to, this will match up close enough here. No, Matt, you get the idea, but it'll match up right there. So that's my goal, is I have to join this row to these rows. So you can see here that I got kind of excited and I took out the paper for the first week, and I'm not going to do that anymore. I mean, it's fine because I don't have to join anything else to this, but it just stays so much more crisp and nice if I keep the papers in. And by the papers I mean these. When you do English paper piecing, you have papers. That's how you form your shape. So anyway, I'm up to date on that. I didn't falter on that in that regard, so that's cool. So I've got that one, and I'm up to date on that one. So this week my job will be to join the one to the rest. So that's that. Oh, my secret sampler, my secret sisters. What is it? Secret Sampler Sisters exchange. That is what the thing that I'm doing with Jen from Jen's Stitching Niche, and Teresa Kitten Stitcher, and Kathy Krause. I got my design, my secret sampler. Put this on my board here so you can see it. This came in the mail from Jen, and it is lovely. I love it. I was tickled pink when I saw it. I requested samplers that have red in them because I would like to do a sampler wall, and I have red as an accent color in my bedroom. So that's where I was kind of hoping to do a sampler wall. I love that it's kind of hanging on point, that it's like a diamond shape. I think that's really cool. It's stitched. I guess she said it's an old hillside sampling chart. She didn't mention what the name of the chart was, but it's a hillside sampling if you like it. That alphabet is stitched over one over one. And she used a limited edition Gloriana silk for it. And she didn't know what fabric, it was just a fabric that she had in her stash, but I absolutely love it. I'm tickled pink about it, and I think she did a fantastic job. So it was great. I'm going to go look for a 6x6 frame for it, because that's about the size that it will need. So like a 6x6. So I'm excited about it. Just tickled. Love it. Thank you, Jen. Thank you. Next is, oh, my haul. I put it, where did I put my haul? Let's see. Oh, here. Got it right here. So there were some people that enabled me, of course, on Instagram and FlossTube and whatnot. You know how that all goes. So, first one I got was this one from Plum Street called Ladies' Maids. This is kind of an old one, but it's starting to get so you can't really find it very easily anymore. I think it is so stinking cute. I really, really like this one. I love all those ladies. I didn't count how many there are, and it's a big one. I mean, it's a big piece. I think, let me take a look here. 350 by 195. I mean, there is a lot of space in between. It's certainly not a full coverage by any means, but I just really, really like this one. I don't know why. So that was some of my haul. I just decided I couldn't live without. Then I was kind of on a Carriage House Samplings kick. This one I saw, someone showed their sampler wall, and this was on their sampler wall, and I just fell in love with it. I love this, I think 1814 Butterfly Collection is what it's called, from Carriage House Samplings. And it looks so cool on the sampler wall, lots of blues, and I really, really liked it. So I was happy that this came. Happy I ordered that. That was fantastic. Another Carriage House that I found in the bargain bin at Stitchbill. So this was so sweet, and I don't know if you guys have heard of these sulky 12 weight threads. So what's unique about these is that this is, I don't know if you can see it all, but you probably can't because it's black. Well, maybe if I hold my hand in front of it. Anyway, this is the same, one strand of this on this roll is the same as using 2 strands of embroidery floss, like DMC. So it's a 12 weight, it's a long staple cotton. There's 50 yards on these little rolls. And this, to me, is just calling to be stitched in this red and black. And like I said, I found this in the bargain bin at Stitchbill, USA. And it's just called SM 1841. I think it's got the initials right there, and it is a reproduction. She says, the sampler's a reproduction of a wonderful little sampler I found in Massachusetts. It's worked on 40 count vintage exemplar from Lakeside Linens. I don't know what I'll stitch it on, but yeah, it's just tiny and it's cute, and I just thought these would look great with it. So I'm gonna stitch that someday. Another thing, so I also bought some more sulky, again in black, because the black, I mean, you use black in so many different designs. I just got a whole big spool of this 12 weight black. So it comes on big spools too, and this is, how much is this? How many yards? 330 yards on here, so I'll have black for a while. Anyway, I think somebody at the Midwest Cross Stitchers Retreat in May showed this. Michelle showed it on her little video, and oh my gosh, this la-di-da. Well, I love Lori Markovic stuff anyway. So Witch is what it's called, by la-di-da, and I had to have it, and I'm going to stitch it. I don't know what fabric I'll use, but I'm going to use this sulky thread. Give it a try. I'm all about the sulky. I guess that's what I'm all into. That's what Teresa would say. What are you all into? Sulky. That's what. And I also got, I remember I showed you this in my last video. I traded some stuff with Kathy Krause, my friend, and she sent me this. This is Quaker Street by Marjorie Massey. And my monochromatic that I'm going to use is this kind of mulberry color, I guess you'd call it. It's kind of a purple. It's not really maroon, it's more purple. But I'm going to use that for this. So I'm sure with two spools, you know, that'll be plenty. By the way, these were $2 each at Stitchbill, so that's pretty good for, what did I say it was? How many yards? 50 yards? $2 for 50 yards? That's pretty good. And these I think were like $6, $6.99 maybe. I got these at a quilt shop. So the bigger ones were at a quilt shop. These were in a little basket at Stitchbill. So, but you can get them both everywhere. And they also have like variegated of these. So I actually bought a variegated that it kind of goes from white to cream to beige and back. So I thought I would use that for filling in some kind of overdyed white at some point. My last little bit of haul is this one, this hands-on design pattern, Sunshine on a Stem. I have loved this for so long. I am a nut about mason jars. I think mason jars are just the best. And what I love about this chart is that it comes with this little green felt to make those little leaves. The leaves are three-dimensional, and I just think that's so stinking cute. So I can't wait to do that one. That one looks like great fun. Oh, last little thing I have. I haven't got a lot this week, and that's okay. Like I said, I always like to try to keep my videos a little bit shorter. Although I've failed miserably the last 2 times. So I keep my patterns, I keep them, let me pull it up here, it's heavy, but I keep them in like a file box like this, with just some hanging file holders, okay? So that's how I keep them. So I discovered something on, I think on Amazon, and there's these little, they're mini hanging pockets for file cabinets. So do you see that? And so they've got like the little hangers that you just, like you hang it from. And it's nice, it advertises it's nice for receipts, checks, coupons, bills, birthday cards, whatever. So I have found that they are super slick for like my short little patterns. So like here's my Deck the Halls from Blackbird. My tiny little prairie schoolers and little tiny freebies and things like that you get. It's been really slick for that. So I don't know if you're a person that keeps, here's all my Lizzie Kates. So I've got like my Quickets and so these are all like my little Lizzie Kate patterns, but they just like stick in here perfectly, and they stick up just a little bit, but it still closes without any trouble, and it doesn't like bend them down or anything. So most file tops have like kind of a thing where they go up a little bit. So that's my tip. I'll put a link below to where you can buy these, but I thought that was slick. So if you're a person that keeps your patterns inside of a box like that, there you go. So that's it. That's all I have. So I hope everybody has a great few weeks. My plan is to usually update about once every 3 weeks or so you don't get too sick of me. Until then, I've been loving watching everybody's mania starts, and on Instagram it's just been so much fun to see what everybody's working on. So everybody keep up the good work. Keep enabling me. I love it. It's only, you only live once. So I'm just going to try to stitch all the things. I'm going to try to buy all the things, and I'm going to try to finish all the things. But until next time, take care everybody. Bye-bye.